So hearing from the front line now, one of you. It's always a good part to really experience the input and the feedback from a member. So she's from Yorkshire, so it's going to be blunt. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand for Lucy Hodgson from Eastwoods.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Follow her down to a bridge by.
Thank you very much, Andy. When Compass rang me, I think it was on Tuesday, to tell me my song choice, I think they wanted me to know about it because of its drugs connotations, but I've realised they didn't really have a lot of choice, because when I googled other songs with the name Lucy in the title, there's one called Rubber Lucy, which is about a floozy who bats her blue eyes at men, and the other one is called Lucy's About to Lose Her Mind. So I realised they didn't have many choices, so I'm pleased they did go with the one they did. So good afternoon, everybody. I do know a few of you in the room already, but for those of you who don't know me, my name's Lucy Hodgson, and I'm a director of Eastwood and Partners insurance brokers in Huddersfield. I'm one of the few people I've encountered who made a conscious decision to become an insurance broker. But I think more unusual is that I made that decision at the age of 8. My father, there is a reason, my father was an insurance broker, and I always wanted to do what he did, even when I didn't understand what that was. I used to accompany him to the office from quite a young age, but as I got older, I think I became more useful, so I could actually say I've worked in the insurance industry for 31 of my 41 years. We joined Compass almost 3 years ago now, and of course when we joined, they were owned by Arthur J. Gallagher's. This didn't particularly concern us, and in fact we did make some very useful international connections which continue to this day. However, now they are an independent network for independent brokers, it seems like a much more natural fit. Compass has clearly gone through a significant period of change following the buyout, and they've invited me to speak to you on the subject of managing change from the point of view of a Compass member. But firstly, I think as Andy has already alluded to, I think it's important to note that I am from Yorkshire. I was born there, I live there, and I work there. Beyond inviting me to speak and giving me the theme, Compass have no idea what I'm about to say. So I'd also like to add that apart from being the leading network in the UK, they're also the bravest, because we are known for our straight talking. There is a quote attributed to Benjamin Franklin, which says, "In this world, nothing can be said to be certain except death and taxes." I think these days the quote could be amended to say, "Nothing can be said to be certain except death, taxes, and change." So whilst change is nearly always a certainty, people accepting and embracing that change is far from certain. I do not propose to give you a seminar or a lecture about change management, but just to say that Eastwood and Partners has been established for 25 years now, and we're beginning to embrace various changes across the business that have been complemented by our membership of Compass. This era of change began 3 years ago with the decision to change our insurance broking operating system from OpenGI to Actuaries. It's impossible to implement a change of this magnitude without the input of a range of people, and this project helped get us into the routine of seeking input from various sources, internal and external, whenever we embark on a significant change within the business. In particular, staff engagement is crucial. I've approximately 10 minutes to speak today, so I can't go into detail about all the ways Compass has supported us, so I'm going to focus on two in particular. Firstly, market placement. Like many insurance brokers, historically we've opened too many agencies. I'm not sure if it was the fear of somehow missing out or the feeling that we had to accommodate every single inquiry we receive. I remember going to a Compass presentation a couple of years ago where consolidation was being discussed. Someone mentioned in hushed tones that they knew a broker that had 106 agencies. I didn't dare confess to having in excess of 140 at the time. But when broking activities and market placement were added to my responsibilities a couple of years ago, this was one of the first areas I wanted to focus on. I wanted to understand who are we dealing with and why do we deal with them? Do we need to make any changes? To avoid any potential conflict later on in the process, and using what we'd learned from the Actuaries project, I wanted everyone to feel involved and give their opinion. I held meetings with our account executives, our claims handlers, our account handlers, our brokers, and asked them the same questions to try and understand who we work well with, who supports us, who doesn't support us, whose policy wordings do we like, who deals with claims well. The conclusion we reached was the good old Pareto rule. In fact, 80% of our business is placed with 20% of our insurer panel. From this meeting, we all then had a clear understanding of who we traded well with, who we felt offered the best value and cover, and who looked after clients when the claims occurred. Fortunately, all the Compass markets appeared on the list, which I think shows that they have chosen carefully, selectively, and well. But the surprising conclusion we reached was that we were not trading well with AXA, despite my colleagues speaking highly of them as a company. And in fact, I started my career with the GRE, so I was always disappointed that we weren't getting on better with AXA. The account was dwindling and going backwards year on year, and we were considering asking to be moved from Leeds to Bolton to try and re-establish the relationship and start again with some new contacts. So I shared my concerns with Scott Bennett from Compass, who I think was equally as surprised that we were struggling with them. And he arranged for me to meet with the Leeds Regional Manager, Karen Osborne, and we had a really open and honest conversation about what had gone wrong on both sides. We agreed to move forward, and the account grew by 51% last year, and in fact we've started 2017 as key partners. The support from Compass here was absolutely crucial and much appreciated, and helped us rescue a failing account that should have been working. I will just add though, equally, where we already have a strong relationship, there's no pressure from Compass to interfere. For example, as Phil Bales mentioned, we are Aviva 110 brokers, and Compass is happy for us to remain so. By being involved in the decision-making around who we want to work with, the account handlers are more encouraged to question market placement and work with our brokers to find another option if that's more appropriate for the client. It isn't always easy, though, to keep that change driving forward, because people will say things like, well, they've been with their insurer for years, or what shall I say if the client asks why we're moving them? But with continued support, we are slowly achieving that change. Another area we've been focusing heavily on is around marketing. We've always had good intentions in this area and have had a good website, a presence on social media, and a presence in our local community. However, our activities were totally inconsistent. We would go through a phase of sending press releases to the local business paper, which were always published, but then it would tail off, or we would start tweeting about something, but then not tweet again for months. We had intentions of writing a newsletter, but the stories quickly dried up as we all just got on with our day jobs. Nobody was focusing specifically on marketing. In addition, whilst the account executives were comfortable servicing their existing clients and achieving excellent retention and increasing their books of business organically and by referral, they were not being consistent in their new business prospecting generally. Where they were, details of prospects were kept within their own folders on the computer or in their own filing system, or even worse, in their heads. This did not give us the ability to plan or target our sales activities, and we were at risk of the information walking out of the door if the account executive left. Fortunately, our staff turnover is extremely low, but we needed to have a more organised approach to marketing and new business prospecting generally. So enter Howard Robinson and Natalie Davis from Smart Cookies, who are the marketing consultants for the Compass network. There are various tools at their disposal, with many available to Compass members free of charge, including a quarterly newsletter, which can be branded for a small extra cost, and a customer relationship management system. We've embraced the CRM system, and all our account executives have now been trained on its use. They can now track and monitor their prospects, record actions taken, and opportunities created. We can also target specific marketing campaigns at particular sectors of prospects. We can create mail shots through the same system, which we can email, and then also check to see if they've been opened and what the prospect was particularly interested in looking at. Smart Cookies have also created a new website for us for an additional, although very competitive cost. And we now have a much fresher look that we regularly update with news items. There are many other areas that we benefit from by being members of Compass, and time, unfortunately, doesn't allow me to go into detail about them all. But suffice to say that we find the input from the Compass team and their partners invaluable. And this has been on a range of subjects, from London market placement that we've just been hearing about, to how do we go about wholesaling a product, to some support with compliance, which is always nice to have another ear. The networking opportunities created by our membership have also been useful. We've been able to share thoughts and ideas with other members in the confidence that they're not our direct competitors. One area that we haven't fully explored yet is around the Compass Training Academy provided by Wiser, and this is certainly on my list. This leads me to finish on a general note about change. As a business, we strongly believe in bringing young people into the industry and have a programme of recruiting apprentices on a regular basis. We've got 2 working for us at the moment who we hope will remain with us for the foreseeable future. In my spare time, I'm a member of Rotary and run the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards programme within Yorkshire. This is a leadership programme for 72 16 and 17-year-old future leaders for 2 weeks every summer. I always come away from the 2 weeks feeling that the future is safe in their hands. In my experience, young people are more receptive to change. In fact, they are bored if things don't change on a regular basis. Consequently, the more we can encourage and make it attractive for young people to join our industry, the more change will become embedded, and it won't all seem like such a battle at times. So I started with a quote, and I'm going to finish with one by Robin Sharma, who says, "Change is hard at first, messy in the middle, and gorgeous at the end, so make of that what you will." Thank you very much for your attention. Enjoy the rest of the conference, and all the very best to Compass as they continue in their new independent era. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Well done. Thank you.